Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to Divinely Decked Tarot and Oracle Readings Done Stacy style. And really excited to be connecting with you guys today. This is the 7th of 7 tarot decks that I got in a lot box of tarot decks off of eBay for $100. And I thought originally, there in a couple of videos, I talked about 8 decks. I got confused because I also ordered a separate deck that wasn't part of this lot box from eBay. And so I had just kind of lumped them all in. But this is it. This is number 7. And this is 7 of this particular series. And it's the last one of the series. So really excited to be sharing this with you guys. In a previous video, I did a review of the Gilded Reverie Lenormand tarot from Ciro Marchetti. And I mentioned it at that time that I was really interested in exploring the Lenormand system, time to branch out and to learn new things. And in this lot, it came with that deck, and it also came with this one, the Nocturnal Garden Lenormand. This is divination cards by Faina Laura. And I'm really kind of excited to check this one out because for me, it's always about the imagery. And if I don't connect with the imagery, I'm not going to connect with the cards. I'm not going to use the cards. So because I am interested in exploring this new sort of tarot system, it's going to be important for me to decide what decks are going to speak to me. Because if it doesn't speak to me, then there's no point. So I'm excited to check this out. And let's just kind of see what this is all about. I'm just trying to look and see who... it says printed in China. I'm not sure who the publisher is, but it says, for centuries, luminous plants and enchanting creatures have flourished in secret after dark. Now you can plant your own seeds of divination in the fertile ground of the nocturnal garden and allow the moon to light your way. Featuring 36 hand-painted cards and a companion book by Faina Laura. So I'm kind of excited about this. And it says it's a 2022. So it's not old. It's just a couple of years. So let's just sort of check this out and see what we got. I'm always excited to try new things like this. It's part of my Gemini moon is loving a little bit of an adventure. I feel like, every deck is an adventure. It's a new story, something really interesting to explore. So I'm just going to adjust my camera here. The cats come in all the time and I get it just perfect. And then they come in and they rub up all on it and they move it and shift it. It's frustrating. All right. So it's a really nice quality box. Nothing on the inside. It feels pretty basic, pretty simple from that perspective. Oh, it's got a lovely velvet, sort of felt velvet feeling on the inside, the insert. Oh, so cute. They're little. They're tiny little cards. That's so cute. It's got a nice guidebook here, Nocturnal Garden Lenormand, divination cards by Faina Laura. It's the same thing, just a different image as the title of the box. Gives us an intro. It says each card has an image of a symbol associated with the traditional Petit Lenormand deck. This booklet includes keywords and short descriptions for insight into the cards. So they give us some spreads, which I think is great, especially for me wanting to learn this new system. Because it is different, I'm used to being, I'm an RWS girl, so this will be a different system. I think it's great to have different spreads to really start to understand the system itself. Loving the descriptions that they've got here. Nice and simple, short, sweet, and to the point. And for those of you who watch me a lot, you know that brevity is not my strong suit, so I can really appreciate that. I love that it's coming in a plastic sleeve here so as to not damage the cards. These are so cute. So they're gilded in sort of a matte gold color and finish. I think that's really cool. They are reversible. I love these little butterflies on here. We've got a little star action going on. The quality of the card is excellent. It's a matte finish. Really nice, thick, and sturdy. That makes me really happy. Let's just turn it over and see what's going on. So we have the Rider. We have a little cat looking at the moon. He's on a broom. Kind of makes me think of that, sort of witch energy. Here we have the clover. The only thing I know about clover is that it is what horses eat. So, and I think clover also honey. I think connection to bees. So maybe there's something about work involved here. Loving the wreath around here. It feels pretty, welcoming, inviting, celebratory, nourishing. Here we have the ship in a bottle. Number 3, I like all the ropes around it. Here we have the house card. Loving all these little butterflies. The colors are impressive to me here. I love that it's on a black background. It is bordered, but it's that delicate border. So you don't even realize that it's bordered. It's kind of like it's part of the design, which I always think is great. Here's tree. Interesting that it's coming out of a little teacup. And I don't know if tree, like to me, tree is like knowledge and wisdom. It's got little faces in the berries of the tree here. A teacup, spilling the tea, wisdom, knowledge, perhaps. 6, we have clouds. And I like that this is in a globe, kind of that shake-a. Oh, cool, and it's a spaceship, either dropping off or taking up a doggy in there, and then there's, all the clouds that are in there. That's so cute. Excuse me, you make a better door than a window. Thank you. Here we have the snake. Oh, and the snake is very ornate and looks, it's in the shape of the infinity sign, but it also gives the hint of the Ouroboros, like it's eating its own tail. I think that's really, really quite significant. Don't mess with the camera. Thank you. Here we have a coffin. And it's interesting, it's a coffin that feels like it's in space. We've got bats around it. So kind of that, a nod to the vampires. Here we have a bouquet. Ooh, and it's, the bouquet is being born out of a skull. So maybe that's, sort of that death and rebirth, life after death. Or making something good out of something negative or sad. Here's a scythe. I like that the raven is on the side, so that as above, so below. Here we have the whip, whipping something into shape. I like that the edges of the whip or the ends of the whip are all flowers. Makes it like a less harsh image. Here we have birds. Birds are messengers, but they're wind-up birds. That's kind of interesting. So maybe easily manipulated or paying attention to your energy. Who's in control of your energy? Are you giving away your power? Here's the child. So we have a pram, we have a baby, what do you call that, a stroller? Interesting that there's a bat here as well with a moon, a crescent moon. Here we have the fox. Oh, very cool. Very ornate. Looks like a fox of royalty. Feels like she's even wearing jewelry. She's got pearls and it looks like an earring or a brooch or something. Wearing a headdress and a scarf. Foxes are usually kind of wily too, so that's interesting. The colors, the red and the green. Red, root chakra, also fire and passion and, love energy, green, heart, abundance, growth. Bear. So this is the vision on the box. Interesting that the bear is a fortune teller. So the mascot of the deck, perhaps, the strength of the deck or the heart of the deck itself. I thought this was 2 cards. It looks like it's not. So we have the star. And interesting, it's in shaping like a pentacle. It almost gives like a pentacle energy with the laurel wreath, the laurel vines in there. You are Luzamachka today. Yes, you are. Here we have the stork. And the stork typically is, bringing babies, bringing birth, something new being added to the family dynamic. He's bringing wisdom and knowledge here. He's got I'm seeing a scroll under his arm and books that he's delivering and stacking up those books. Here we have a dog, loyalty. That's Mr. Neo knocking everything off with his tail because, why not? Mama's got to work and he just doesn't care. Yes, I love you. So loyalty, interesting that the dog is jumping out of his dog house or jumping over his dog house. And his tail is like a ribbon. That's interesting. I'm sure there's significance to that. Here we have the tower. And I don't know if the tower is the same implication as it is in the RWS. But what's really weird is it's got chicken feet. And there's also a ribbon going all around it. But the ribbon isn't really attached to anything in particular. I think there might be like a little worm on the end. And there's like a rooster vane, a weather vane. That's interesting. Here we have garden. Makes me think of Feed Me, Seymour, Feed Me, Little Shop of Horrors. We've got the Venus flytrap there. Interesting, there's scissors, shears for cutting. There's a watering can. Mountain, stability, immovable, maybe some stubbornness, there for a long, long time. Paths, goodbye, yes or no. Oh, interesting. She's using the Ouija board concept. I'm not a fan of Ouija boards, but I like that it's not actually a Ouija board, but it's interesting that she's referencing it. Here we have mice in the little teacups. Here we have heart, a beautiful kitty cat in like that Matryoshka doll sort of energy. Feels very like Russian. It's got that Russian feel to it. Here we have a beautiful ring being shown on a hand that has been tattooed with henna. We have book. And it's interesting. There are flowers in a beautiful flower garden growing out of the book. So applying of wisdom, applying of information. Letter, we have an old-fashioned typewriter and flowers coming out of the typewriter. That's interesting. Man, like a Merlin-esque figure. Interesting that his eyes are closed. Either he's in thought or in meditation, or he's sleeping, but he's not connecting with the reader. Woman, her eyes are half open, half closed. She's smiling, so she looks a lot happier. She looks a little like Red Riding Hood. Lily. Interesting that there's death in the center of the lily, but makes sense. Lilies often are flowers that are given at funerals and things of that nature. So springtime, rebirth. Sun. Oh, interesting. The mask is being pulled away and there's death behind it, and it looks like a moth and also a scarab. Wow. Lots of transformation in this one with the sun. Moon. So we have those beautiful bats again, and this could be reversible if it were not for the letters and the numbers. This would be reversible. So cycles, the cycles of the moon. Key. I love that the key is the 33. You've got 3 keys on here, and they all have like dragonfly wings. I think that's really cool. And they're all unique keys, very different from one another. Implying some ancient, but they're shiny and they're in good shape. So still valid. Fish. So we have a little mermaid in the cup, the teacup. She's got a little nautilus shell for her ear, so she listens. Anchor, 35. Interesting that it is an hourglass. Wonder what that means. And then we have 36, cross. Very cool. All right, so in true Stacy style, we're going to shuffle these up. And because I don't understand this system, I'm going to actually read from the book. And I just realized that Neo, thank you, Mr. Neo, with his tail decided to knock off the book and the box. So forgive me for that. So we have the guidebook here. Oh, and I just hit my head and screwed everything up. So here I am, getting frustrated with the cat, and I'm screwing it all up myself. And, life with animals, cat, just cat. All right, so we are going to pull a card here to see how this deck wants to work with you. Actually, this is the one that's standing out to me. Oh, interesting. The 36th one, the last one, cross. So let's see what the cross meaning is all about. Conviction, suffering, burden. Sometimes the cross becomes too heavy a burden to bear. One's personal conviction can become a source of suffering and a burden upon themselves and others. So I feel like this deck wants to work with us, with anyone that's going to work with it, to help release the burden, to bring a little more clarity, a little more peace of mind to what is transpiring. Shedding a little light on the subject, making things a little bit easier to digest, easier to understand. More palatable. Also, they didn't say anything about this, but looking at this particular cross, it's kind of like there's a pathway that's woven throughout the crossroads. So you don't necessarily have to go north or south or east or west. You can go in one direction and then you can always loop around. You can always get back to where you were. So I also feel like it's going to encourage you from that perspective of reminding you that you'll always get where it is that you need to be and to go. You don't have to worry about that. Don't worry about making a wrong choice. Just make the choice and it'll help you get there. All right, that is our experience here, a review of the Nocturnal Garden Lenormand. And as always, guys, it is a pleasure to explore these wonderful things that we use for divination, the tarot, and the oracle decks. It's just fantastic. I hope you enjoyed this. Please feel free to, let me know what you thought about this in the comments. Would love to start a conversation and start a dialogue. And until we see each other again on the next segment, I'm sending you lots and lots of love. We'll see you on the flip side, and transform well. That's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was great to connect with you guys. Please like, subscribe, and comment for more content like this. And feel free to follow me on Blue Sky for even more content every single day. Can't wait to see you guys next week for another installment of Black Feather Couture, Divining the VIP Life.